This is a video I've been meaning to create a long time ago, but because of the stuff happening around me here and there, it was only now that I can materialize. Anyhow, I am talking about comparing the Springfield Hellcat versus Sig Sauer P365. Both guns are in the micro-compact 9mm department, featuring double-stack capacities and ergonomic features that are pretty much the standard of pocket-sized concealed carry guns today. Still, we have to admit that it was the P365 who started this trend of small, yet high-capacity pistols. The question right now is whether or not it still has the upper hand against its rivals, such as the Hellcat. Good thing that I got both these two guns, so I ran a quick range test with them. What's up, everyone? This is your boy Ted from Line 45. In this episode, I will be comparing the overall performance and quality of the Springfield Hellcat and Sig Sauer P365, and later on, I will tell which between I deem objectively better as a concealed carry pistol. Before we get underway, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I know it is a chore, but these simple clicks help my channel immensely. Now let's return to the video. The entire explosion of the micro-compact pistol market was caused by the P365 when it was launched in 2018. For a small gun like this, you wouldn't really believe that it can hold the same capacity as the Glock 19. But hey, I know my history, so I know that the P365 is not the first small 9mm handgun that boasts a high-capacity mag. A good example would be the Kel-Tec P11, which was released in 1995. It's virtually smaller than the P365 and already has a default capacity of 10+1 rounds. It just didn't get popular, which is why the P365 got all the credit. Eventually, gun manufacturers used the same design principles incorporated in the Sig P365 and nailed them on their own products. That's the very reason why we are seeing a lot of small guns these days that boast a minimum of 10 rounds in their mags. But in terms of overall sales, it's safe to say that the Sig P365 can still be declared as the American favorite. It's then followed by the likes of Hellcat and Glock 43. Between the two, I can really say that the Hellcat is the closest contender of the original P365. In fact, the Hellcat is the very first gun that became an official competitor of the P365 when it was released in 2019. As I said, the entire micro-compact segment today is already crowded, but these two are sitting at the pinnacle. Crazy how they were able to maintain their reputation, right? So let's do a quick rundown of their specifications. The original P365 has a total length of 5.8 inches, while the Hellcat measures 6.03 inches long. The size difference isn't that much, but a little increase in the size could still make the difference in terms of recoil, accuracy, and even ergonomics. The two are virtually similar in their girth. They have the same grip width, which is about an inch. Even the width of their slides are identical. However, the Sig P365 is taller than the Hellcat. I mean, the difference is just in millimeters, but still, that should still be emphasized. From the slide to the magazine's base plate, the P365 is about 4.3 inches tall, while the Hellcat is just 4 inches. If you use a standard extended mag, the P365 should stand 4.65 inches, while the Hellcat is at 4.5 inches. In terms of their weight, these two micro-compact pistols are in the same department. With a full mag, they should weigh about 23 ounces. You can never really tell the difference once you are carrying them. All I can say is that these two pistols are equally light. This matters since these guns are designed for concealed carry. All of their controls and components are in low-profile configuration, so that you can carry them comfortably. Now let's move to the actual hardware or structure of these pistols. By just taking a look at the pistols, it's clear that the P365 features rounded edges, technically making it a more comfortable choice. The Hell pistol, on the other hand, is a bit blocky, like a Glock 43. But this isn't something you should take a downside. If you have medium to large hands, you'll find the Hellcat a lot better since it gives a better grip. One weird thing that I noticed, though, when using these pistols, is that the backstrap of the Hellcat is longer than Sig P365. But when I checked the front strap, the P365 had a longer piece than its competitor. Of course, you will not notice these differences in actual use. However, there's a chance that either of the two will print your clothes when positioned at a particular angle or when placed in a specific spot. But by all means, you can just ignore these details. I just mentioned it because it somewhat amused me. The grip textures of the two pistols remain strikingly similar. Right now, the P365 has more aftermarket options for holsters than the Hellcat. You can choose among various carry styles, and that alone should give you more freedom to wield the P365 based on your preference. The difference between the P365 and Hellcat starts on their capacity. As you can see, the default capacity of the P365 without extended or aftermarket mags is 10 rounds of 9mm. It's kind of funny, but Springfield just won up the P365 by fitting the Hellcat with an 11-round mag. Actually, we can dismiss that one bullet difference as an advantage of the Hellcat over the Sig P365. But then again, one round can still make a difference, especially in actual fights. It's also proof that Springfield wanted the Hellcat to be better, even slightly, than the P365. It's just one round, but who knows what it can do for you. Now that we are talking about their capacities, I want to let you know something about their extended magazines. As you can see, the Hellcat has a 13-round mag as its extended mag, while the P365 includes a 15-round magazine on its package. The extended mag of Hellcat is seamless with the structure of the gun, meaning that it stretches nicely along the grip. On the flip side, the P365's extended mag introduces a ledge on the gun's backstrap. It somehow doesn't match the grip ergonomics of the pistol, but in practice it's something that you can ignore completely. If you want a more seamless extended mag for the Sig P365, I suggest that you opt for its 12-round mag instead. Both the P365 and Hellcat are modular in the sense that you can put accessories on them. The P365 has a rail that Sig Sauer designed specifically for the pistol, while the accessory platform of the Hellcat is your typical one-slot Picatinny rail. By comparing the two, it's kinda clear that the accessory rail of Hellcat is shorter. So initially, I thought that it wouldn't fit a lot of lights and lasers. But after years of using this gun, the Hellcat is actually compatible with multiple options, such as the Streamlight TLR6, Streamlight TLR7, and Surefire XSC. For Sig P365, the lights you can attach to it are those that are specifically made for the pistol. Fortunately, the choices have grown over the years, but hey, I think the Hellcat is better than the P365 in this department. Another difference between the Hellcat and P365 can be found on their slides, specifically the serrations on them. If you put the pistols side by side, it is easy to notice that they are serrated adequately, and that made them a little handsome in my opinion. However, the serrations of the Hellcat are quite shallow, and this is just not me who noticed this. In fact, it feels like the serrations on the Hellcat are just there for show. In actual application, manipulating the slide of the Hellcat might prove difficult. Well, this is not an issue if you mount the gun with optics, and I really recommend that you do so, as you can just use the red dot for racking the slide. But without the red dots, my hands tend to slip away from the slide, especially if I don't put a conscious effort into holding the slide. The Sig gun, on the other hand, has deeper serrations. They have the right depth, and that alone made the gun a lot better than the Hellcat. Sure, the serrations aren't game-changing, but in terms of functionality, they give the P365 more value. The triggers integrated on these two guns are also good. Yes, they are striker-fired triggers, but they are designed so well that they might not require any aftermarket replacements. Still, it is your call if you decide to get a new trigger for either of these guns. In a more conventional way of approaching triggers, I can tell frankly that the P365 trigger is way better than the Hellcat. It's lighter and offers a shorter reset. It's also very crisp. However, this doesn't mean that the Hellcat has already been defeated in this department. It seems that Springfield decided to optimize the trigger of the Hellcat for concealed carry purposes. For starters, it's heavy, at around 5 pounds or more. Since it's heavy, it's not prone to accidental discharges. Plus, it's also clean and consistent, and the reset doesn't lag that much. Upon shooting these two pistols, I can't remark any distinct difference between terms when it comes to their respective accuracy. I used the same ammo when testing their guns, and they maintained the identical groupings across the 7 and 15-yard mark. But anyone can agree that the P365 shoots softer than the Hellcat, and perhaps this has to do with the recoil spring of the Springfield gun. It's somewhat stiff. But in actual combat, you may no longer notice the sharpness in the Hellcat. The P365 features the X-Ray 3 sights. Both the rear and front sights have tritium vials, and if you can notice, the front also includes a green insert, which is practically useful in aiming at targets under broad daylight. On the flip side, the front sight of the Hellcat has a yellow ring that encapsulates a tritium vial. The all-blacked white U rear sight perfectly complements the front. The performance of these sight setups varies. Like if we are talking about precision shooting, I will go with the P365 sights. But if it's practical shooting, I guess the sight configuration of the Hellcat is more useful, as they are easier to align. Overall, these two guns function with convincing reliability. It's ridiculous in a sense that these are small guns, and more often than not, many aren't that convinced that micro-compacts are prone to mechanical issues. These production pistols somewhat dispelled those misconceptions. On my tests, I used 200 rounds of both 115 grain and 124 grain ammo, and the two guns ran them smoothly. If I am going to pick a concealed carry pistol, I think I will go with the Sig P365. Similar to my P226 or P320, I spent more hours training with my P365 than Hellcat. By all means, the Hellcat is an equal competitor of the P365, but its recoil and somewhat shallow serrations had caused it to lose little points. Nonetheless, it's still a great micro-compact 9mm. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more gun videos like this, just click the subscribe button and notification bell. Take care and stay safe.